Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I am Nichols here to show you a tutorial on Silent Hunter 4 TDC. You know me as Level Up Brian. So what is Silent Hunter 4? Silent Hunter 4 is a submarine sim game where you are in charge of a US naval submarine. Very similar to Silent Hunter 3 and 5, as well as U-Boat and a few other naval games. So what I'm going to be showing you guys today is how to effectively use your TDC. So if you do like what you see, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment and leave a big thumbs up. All support helps the channel. So what is a TDC? Quite simply, it's a targeting computer built onto submarines. Now, of course, the US and the Germans' TDCs are very different, but they do the same job. The first thing first, one thing that you always got to make sure is quite simply your difficulty. Now, you can do this on medium if you want to. But the main option that you want to make sure that you have turned on is this one, memory targeting system. If you don't, you're just going to get this little arrow on your target and that's it. This is what you need to turn on. So always make sure that you have that turned on. Now we are going to go to the naval school where I shall hopefully show you exactly the cool things that you can do with a TDC. What are the differences between the American TDC and the Germans? The Germans had a lot more visual things to work out. If you ever play Silent Hunter 3 or U-Boat and you'll see a gauge on the TDC that's green and red, that's for port and starboard. So first thing first, we're going to pause the game. So German U-boats tend to use a lot of different systems and everything like that to get the range, the bearing, the speed, and the angle on bow. Here is a bit different, but very similar. The first thing first, you always want to go to your periscope, always. You're going to raise the periscope with a control, page up and page down. And you want to kind of just get the periscope high enough like this. There's our target right there. We're going to pause. We're going to open up these tabs here as well as this manual, and we're going to pause. So this is the TDC system for Silent Hunter 4. It looks very simple, but trust me, unless you get the understanding of it, it's going to be very hard. So let's just unpause and zoom in. Pause again. Believe it or not, pausing is your friend. So what's the first thing that you need to do? Well, first I'm going to tell you exactly how this system works. So here at the bottom is your bearing to the target. This is your target's bearing to you. Bit complicated? Basically, this boat in the middle of this loads of numbers is basically the heading of your ship, which is the angle on bow. Now, this is a system to get the range. One thing to take note is that before you get the range, always identify your targets. The reason for that is because the ranging only works if you know the height of the mast. If you see a ship and you estimate it without identifying the ship, then you're going to get a weird range and speed. So we're going to identify this. We know it's a warship. So the one thing to take note of in this, like you've got loads of different countries, but your main targets as the US are the Japanese and merchants. So we know this is a warship, so we're going to go to the Japanese. Warships, so we know that it's not a Yamato class. So we're going to skip the battleships. We're very, very similar kind of shape. However, when identifying the target, you need to really check a few things. One, how many guns? So we can see it's got 3 guns, 2 guns at the back, but it's not this one. The funnel's the same, but no secondary funnel. So we know this ain't a heavy cruiser. So we're going to keep going. Now this one could be it. 3 guns at the front, funnel, looks good. However, it's got a flight deck. No guns at the back, so it's not that. We're going to keep going. Go past all this. Now, keep going. Of course, you get all these lovely targets that you can hit if you find them. Now, this one, very similar. However, get the guns. Get the bridge. Also, you can click this button and see what it looks like coming at a different angle. So we know it's not that one. Now this, 3 guns at the front, 2 masts, 1 airplane, 2 guns at the back, bridge looks good. This is our target. So we're going to click this big button here and say, this is what we're going to be shooting at. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here. If you're locked onto a target, there's a button down here, ID target. You can click that and your crew will identify the target. So now we got the target. So what we can do, come up to this. This is pretty much your TDC. The first thing you want to do is do this. Click this button here and it will create a ghost echo. Now, what do you do with this? Right? Do you put it here or do you put it up there? No, you want to put the waterline of the ghost echo, so to speak, to the top of the mask right here and click. And you'll send that to the targeting computer. It will unpause. Right there, it's giving us a range of 1,636 meters. And so now what you want to do is kind of wait a minute. So one thing to take note of, let me just go here. Let me just go to our torpedoes. So another key thing about setting up an attack and using the TDC is knowing your torpedo's range. So if I click here, so you see it has a top speed of 46 to 31. It also has a range of 4,500 to 9,000 yards. So this here will easily hit 9,000 yards. Now, the thing to take note of when doing an attack, go here, okay, is your torpedo speed. So if you want the torpedo to last a long time, do it on low. However, if your target is close to you and you want to hit it fast, go to high. So one thing we're going to do, quite simply set that, push W and set our 4 torpedoes to high. Now, we want to set the depth. Now, I know that this ship has a draft of over, I think it's like over 20. So we want to set our torpedoes roughly about there. And this is, I'll get into that in a minute. So we've got, we pause. Right, so we've got the high. It's been a minute, so we're going to take another reading. Boom. Send it to the TDC. 1,500. Now the reason why you do it 2 times, it gives the computer a chance to calculate. The next, we're going to go to the speed. And click estimated target speed. Now you could try putting it manually. There are ways of doing it. I'm going to click that. But apparently this cruiser is doing 7 knots at a degree of 91. Remember that number, the degree. So we're going to send that to the TDC, 7 knots. Now, what is the degree? The degree is the bearing the ship is going. So 91. So this bar I used to get stuck on, but I've kind of worked it out. So this is what you want to be looking at, and this. So basically, you got a 0 here on the bow of your ship. You want to get that bow on the ship to 91. So you think to yourself, oh, it only goes up to 35. That's 5,550. So the best way to think about it, how this works, this ship is going on a bearing of 91 degrees. So you want to get your bow on this dial up here to roughly 91. So I am going to say, we're going to move this around about there, and we're going to put that in almost just a bit more. Yeah, okay, that's that. Now, one thing to take note of is this button, the GSP. Once you've got all your calculations sorted and everything like that, you want to hit this, because this will track a target at that current setting that you've done. So we're going to click it. So it's on. So all the settings will work. Now, what you want to do is open your torpedo tubes with you. And if you're unsure, now this is why you always double check. Boom. And yep. Speed. Estimate the speed. 8 knots. So degree 100. Send that. 100. We want to bring this pretty much there. 10. Right. And shoot. Now, the reason why I'm shooting straight away is because that targeting system is calculating at that precise moment. So what I'm doing is, as you see, I'm also setting an angle. So this will basically spread the torpedoes out when you fire them. There we go. All torpedoes away. Now we're going to check here. And if you look, they look good. They look good. You've got a slight angle. The first one's always at 0, I will say. Always at 0. And then the rest will just hopefully hit. So now we watch.
Torpedo impact.
Second one.
Torpedo impact.
Third one might miss because I went to the left.
Torpedo impact.
Oh no, it did hit. That was good. And the last one, boom. Now, of course, they all kind of hit in the same spot. So will the ship go down? I do not know. It might do, it might not. However, your best bet when it comes to your torpedoes is to kind of always go in the general direction they are heading. So pretty much, if a perfect example is this. So if this ship, you fire one torpedo at 0 and it's going to the right, you know, move this dial quite simply to the right by 1, fire, by 1, fire, by 1, fire. Of course, later boats have more torpedoes. Another thing to take note is this. Your contact. Let me just come here. Okay, of course, it's not going to have any torpedoes, but I'll do it on the aft. So, what's this? So, contact and electric. I'm going to just call it electric, quite simple. Basically, if the ship has a 90-degree angle to you, use contact because it's pretty much going straight into the side of the ship. However, you would think this ship is at 90 degrees, right? not quite when it was coming round. So use your contact, your electric contacts, or pretty much magnetic exploders. So when they get close to a target or near it, it will blow up. And that is pretty much how the TDC works. So we're going to quickly check the torpedoes. Yeah, our torpedoes they're going to take forever. So pretty much your setup is to identify. And you go to the range it, pull out your torpedoes, give it a minute, range it again. Then you go to the speed and you'll have all the your crew will have enough information to plot a speed and ship's bearing, and then you make sure that you set your bearing of your the enemy ship on this, what it's set in the what it says in the degree. Hit this button and fire. Quick buttons to know before I end this video is quite simply Control Enter. It's to fire your torpedo, so it saves a lot of going back and forth. Your W is to switch the torpedo, and yeah, and of course you do have on the mod I'm using, by the way, which I completely forgot to mention, the full device in Sun. You do have a lot of keys, you know, your attack keys. So as you see, yeah, so pretty much 6 steps: lock onto the target, identify, range, wait a minute, range again, speed, angle, fire. That's the steps. Hopefully this video has helped you guys, for any new players of this awesome game. And now that I know how the TDC works, it'll be a lot easier for me to get this game played when it's streaming. So hopefully I'll be streaming some more Silent Hunter 4 very soon. But thank you all for watching. Don't forget, yet again, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you like this little tutorial on the Silent Hunter 4 TDC. And until I see you all again next time, which hopefully will be soon. Thank you all for watching, and take care. And don't forget, stay leveled up.